YouTube, what's happening? This is CJ, the Detail Guy. Today is January the 9th, I think, 10th. I think it's the first video of the new year for me. Hope everybody's new year been going good so far. But as normal, I'm just sitting here getting some work done. So I had a reoccurring guest come in for some maintenance and some stuff I had to fix on the car. It's crazy how sometimes when you work on these cars, you send them off to people in whatever area they in. They deal with these bootleg mechanics. I'm not no real mechanic, to be honest with you. I'm not certified and nothing but what I do on my normal, which is my reconditioning stuff. But the mechanic work stuff is something that's been running through my family for years. So I easily pick it up on certain things, not all things. Certain cars I'm not even going to try. Certain issues I'm not even going to touch. I'm going to source it out to somebody else. But some stuff I can pick up on my own and get stuff done. But the crazy part that I'm talking about is when these certified mechanics with these real shops, mechanic shops, get to fooling around in your motors, don't know what they doing, and mess up something. So you got to always circle back. They end up eventually circling back to you to get stuff squared away, and it just costs them more money and a lot of your time. But we got one in the house. Y'all seen this one before. The 74 Chevy Caprice. This one we did a full drivetrain in this car about 2 years ago. And we sent it off to my buddy who he was driving it real reckless, he really didn't give it time to break in like it needed to before he sent it to somebody else's shop to try to get them to do some stuff to it. You know how that go. But on this car, what we did on this car, we changed out the brakes on this one. We did the rear end on this one. So this one now has 410 gears in this one. We put a 700 R4 with a built B&M kit transmission in there. This one has, I think it has a 25 to 28 stall B&M converter on this one, torque converter. Then up top, we did a stock. We took his original 400 block and we bored it over 30. I think we did 30 on this one. We changed the cam, pistons, rods, lifters. This one has poly locks in it. We put a new Assault, Assassin air gap manifold on there with the Elderbrock, that AV2, new series, 650 on this one. MSD wire and everything all through. Covers, everything. Got it running good. Got headers on it. We got the Flowtech block hugger headers on there. We got this joker running good, looking good. We put the fans, electric fans on it, new radiator. We did all of that stuff to this car. So when it left us running good. She's still running good, but he took it somewhere to try to get them to fix the sending unit or the gas gauge. It wasn't reading. That guy kept this car for probably 6 months out of the time that he got it from us. Said he did the work, didn't do nothing but got the finagling and picking that stuff and kind of threw the car off because he ain't know what was really going on with this engine, the drivetrain, all that stuff. So the car basically been sitting. The guy, he came in here, he pulled a fuel filter. You see the little fuel filter? He had that leaking all over the place. Everything was brand new on this motor. Had that leaking. He just went through the car messing with everything and just left the man car kind of, limping. So I've been real busy, and he's been calling about getting this car fixed, getting it back running. But when he first got the vehicle, man, it was crazy. He bad with cars. I'm gonna just say it like that. He get in them and he just want to run them. He don't want to take his time with it, baby it. Because this block right now, with everything new on it, it still don't got 3,000 miles on this block. It hasn't been properly broken in like it needs to be, and that's what I'm trying to convey to him now. That with everything, I mean, you still see. Can you see the gasket on there? See that gasket? That's still the brand new gasket we put on. You see how fresh it still look? So that's how new this car is. But he's still trying to figure out the power, how this car runs, all that kind of stuff. So I'm still explaining that to him, trying to get him to understand that certain things you can and you cannot do, especially with it being an automatic transmission. You should not be shifting the gears from the column, especially if you don't know how to do it, if you don't understand your engine and your shift points and all that. If you don't understand that kind of stuff, you should not be doing that with your vehicle. That's for everybody. I'm sure I'm not the only one that will tell you that, but if you don't understand the motor that you have, the transmission that you have, how it shifts, when it shifts, all that kind of stuff like that, or just understanding the car, period, you should not be shifting your shifter on an automatic transmission. Let it do its job. It has a kick down cable. It has all the cables and things that it needs properly plugged in to move this car like it needs to move or how you would want it to move once you properly allow this vehicle to break in. Now, there's certain things you can do with this car right now, like burnouts and you can do that in automatic, in the right proper areas and all that kind of stuff. She got power. So let me just say that like that. So anyway, she back. I had to get back on this bad boy. The first thing I had to figure out was why it was leaking fuel. So I got that squared away with a fuel filter and lines. The next thing was he was complaining that it was doing a lot of ticking on this passenger side. You could hear, when I first cranked it up, you could hear it tick, 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 tick. The way he had driven the car, shifting the gears, he knocked these poly locks. And mind you, with poly locks, that's why he said you got to break the car in. 500 miles, come back, get your poly locks adjusted, to the drive and how everything is wearing in on that cam and how it's wearing in, with your lifters and everything. You come back, get your poly locks adjusted. But his poly locks were loose. He also had a major header leak here. The gasket had burnt out because of how it was, operating. But when we first did this exhaust system, the exhaust company that I took it to, they welded up the pipes and left a little hole in the top of the collector, right at the point where it welds together. He was supposed to carry the car back to them to get that done. He never did it. So he just kept driving the car like that, And then on this collector here down, we found another little hole. So we had two holes in multiple holes once I actually got on it. Multiple holes in the collector on this side, driver's side, and on the passenger side. So that was giving us the ticking sound as well. The headers, like I said, the gasket had broken, burned through on this one, and the headers were loose. So somebody been dealing with it. He told me he took it to a guy who said he tightened up all of the headers, all that. Nah, he ain't tightened up nothing. So he was setting you up for failure. So what I had to do was I had to take the valve covers off. I had to bump the car a few times to get the valves to move how I needed them and tighten them all up. Each one, these are 1.5 poly locks on here, rocker arms on here. So we had to adjust these up to the point of a really slight turn, not tight like where you can't turn the rod at all, but a slight turn on them. Lock that all up. I had to replace the gasket on the headers. I also had to replace the valve cover gasket on this one because this one was leaking oil down onto the manifold, so we had to change all that out. So once I got all that stuffed out, the next thing was I had to get the Eastwood, which I had to borrow this from my buddy. This is a really good MIG welder, y'all. Really good MIG welder. 110, works good on gas. It's great. Had to borrow this from my buddy and welded up all of all the way around the collectors, searching for holes. So all the ticking we had got together when we first started, because my buddy came out and helped me. Big shout outs to him, Alexander. He came out and helped me. Once we got all the ticking with the valves done, we cranked it with the covers off, and all of the ticking was gone from the valve train. The next thing was the manifolds. So we switched out the gaskets. This side, in actuality, was all good. We just had to tighten up the bolts on the headers. The gasket is still good, which is why you still see one right there. The gasket on this side is still good, won't no issues. We just had to tighten up the bolts and weld up the manifold. Everything was good on this side, so we left this side pretty much alone. Everything's working perfect. This side was where all our issues were. And this was the side mostly that had been dealt with by somebody else, which pissed me off. So got it together, got her running. Everything's good with it. The carburetor adjustments on there, everything's set. So now the way we got this bad boy set up, I mean, I took it test driving it last night after I got everything put back together. She cranking. So I'm gonna give y'all a little short cold start on this car so you can hear how good this joker sound. I mean, because it sounds great now. It's running like it's supposed to. You know, just glad I was able to get to it. It took me a while. He been chasing me really for probably almost a year. The car, he said the car been pretty much sitting, you know, at the other mechanic shop, at his house, way out in the country, and he was really at the point where he ready to sell this bad boy. And I finally was like, man, come on, man, let me try to figure out something. So once we negotiated price and got all that stuff together, pricing and stuff like that, everything worked out. So again, y'all be careful who y'all sending y'all cars to, man. Everybody that say they're a mechanic ain't one. You know, they hustling. You know what I mean? I ain't knocking nobody hustle, but when it comes to something that you putting all your money and your time into, make sure you go to somebody who, you know, gonna take care of your stuff, and get your stuff running right and doing like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna get this joint a quick crank. I ain't gonna let it run long because we inside and it's raining. I'm gonna crack the door a little bit, let the smoke go out. But I'm gonna let y'all hear this joker, how it's running, and how it's doing. So give me a second. Let me get this joker together, y'all. Hold on. Give y'all a little quick cold start. Hold on 1 second. See them pipes? Gotta open this garage, can't let all that smoke in here. Yeah, y'all. Y'all hear that joker running good? When I first got to messing with it, it had a misfire in it. You can hear it in the exhaust. You can hear the misfire in the exhaust. But once I got to fooling around with these valves, everything got to working like it's supposed to, sounding good. Yeah, how quiet this engine sound. And mind y'all, this carburetor. So I'm sitting right in the motor bay. Y'all hear it? You don't hear no ticking. Everything's running like it's supposed to. She warming up in the cold. You hear how she sounds in the cold. And she ain't even warmed up all the way so far. And you know how hard it is to start a car in the wintertime? That's carburetor. Y'all see it. So she warming up, she getting herself together. But y'all hear it. So just be careful. Take this advice from me. Just be careful with who you allow to work on your vehicle. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Alright? Stay up on your own car. Learn about your car. Learn how to drive your own car so that you can, make the proper adjustments on your car as needed. Don't just get a car and don't know nothing about your car and always having to run it to shops. That's gonna always cost you money. So be careful, be aware, and y'all, just do better, all right? But we got another one done, so hey. But also, y'all, I'm over here messing with patience. I had already started on this bad boy. I'm dealing with this heater box, y'all. So as you can see, I've already started taking it apart. I got a new blower motor, new resistor. I got a new high-speed relay. I ordered the evaporator coil. My heater coil, is nothing wrong with it, but I'm gonna change it out anyway since everything gonna be new. Reason why I'm doing all of this now is because I got a few wires left here. One wire for the AC. One wire for the AC. The rest of the computer wires for the AC. And all the other wires. I got a new canister. What you call this? A condenser. All of that's new. Plus, y'all know I got the new Sandin 508 compressor. So all of this stuff I want to be brand new. My line, except for this one bottom line here, this one has an orifice tube in it. This is the perfect line for the G-body. So if you got it, keep it, reuse it. Especially when you order that evaporator coil here, it's gonna come with the exact same fittings. You just gotta get a new orifice tube to put in here. Right here on this line. Let me move this. That line there, just got to get a new orifice tube to run there, and that line runs all the way up to your condenser up here. All right, so yeah. Well, I call this the evaporator. I don't know what I said that was, but all that stuff new. Let me show you some parts numbers. I got this joker here warming up, but let me get y'all a couple part numbers right quick. So y'all know this is my little area. This is my area with all my parts and everything. I need to clear this table off and get stuff put where it's supposed to be. I got parts everywhere, y'all. You might as well call me a daggone part shop. Look, parts over there. I got parts all over here. Stuff that I'm gonna use, I ain't gonna use. I got stuff everywhere, y'all. So anyway, the heater box. Excuse me, y'all. I started with the resistor, and that's how that looks. I went and got it from Napa. There go the part number. It's a Napa part. This part ran me about 21 bucks. The next thing was the relay, the high-speed relay. There go the part number. That looks like this, or this is the old one. That's the old one. This the new. One second. This the new one here. So you got your old resistor, your old relay, and these are the new ones. Now it's good to go and get this stuff new now while you're in the midst of your build, because you don't want to have to keep doubling back. You don't want to have to keep on doubling back to fix stuff. So this the new resistor here, fresh. So you got your new resistor, your new relay. So there go your electronic components for those things. These things right here is big. You need these. So here go the part number for the relay. I got these from O'Reilly's. I got the resistor from Napa, and that's that part number. The other thing, let me cut this off right quick, y'all. Cut it off right quick. Y'all look where that RPM is on that. At idle, chilling, warming up. We got wonderful oil pressure. Voltage is good. Also had to buy him a new battery. And look where our coolant is. Look at that. Perfect. Everything's set. Now he gotta understand also. I told him before, but he hard-headed when it comes to this car. I told him before, this vehicle, the way it's set up with the compression that we have on this car, he has to use race fuel in this car. This car, the way we built it, the way he wanted it built, he can't be using regular gas in here. He's been doing that, and that's what's causing that combustion explosion when it turns off on here. He got 93 in here. He need race fuel. If anything, he need to put on this big tank half and half, and he'll be all right. A little more race fuel than 93. It'll run on 93, but it's not going to run at its optimum. And you're going to get a little bit of that combustion explosion going when you turn it off. But besides that, it runs great, y'all. It just, he need to understand that about that car. That's why I say, when you get to know your car, you know exactly what's up with your car, then that's what you can do. But this car, the way he has it built right now, this car ain't for no everyday driving. I mean, a car old like this, a 74, this ain't a car you want to drive all day, every day, back and forth to work, cross the water, sitting in traffic, doing all that kind of stuff. This ain't the car for that, especially not being built the way it's built up. I mean, this a car you drive it to wherever you going and park that joke. This ain't no car to just be, you know, acting crazy, doing all that crazy stuff. Now, you could drive it. You could do whatever you want. It got a 700 in it with an overdrive. It's an overdrive transmission. So it's perfect for that rear end that's in there. You know what I mean? So you can drive it, don't get me wrong, but the type of fuel that this car takes is the reason why you don't want to drive it like that all the time, because it takes race fuel. That stuff is expensive right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to ride at its optimal, what it was built for. It's going to ride for that. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to this. So the other parts that we had to have for the heater box is the blower motor. So another thing I got from O'Reilly's, and here's the old one. I actually probably could have kept this one. Still was working when I turned the car off or when I stopped driving the car. You see the fan on it, it's still tight. So I probably could have took this one off and just bought the upper part, but I said bump it, man. If I'm gonna change it out, I'm gonna just get a whole new one. So there go the old one. Let me let y'all see what the new one's looking like. And these ones, if you know, when you're looking it up, it's only gonna have this one plug on it there, that blade there. You got one plug that plugs on there with the car. Beside it, right here beside it, there's a blade that gets screwed on here. That's your ground. So don't be confused thinking that it's two plugs on here. I did for a second. But in actuality, it's a blade that comes off of here that screws onto the new one. And that's your ground. So here's the new one. Ugh, she tight. Hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Alright, so here's the new one. Blacked out one. This one is Continental makes this one. The part numbers if that's what you're looking for, but it has the one blade on it. Right beside it is where you'll screw on the ground wire. Let me show you the part number. This comes from O'Reilly, so you know they deal with Murray. So here's the part number for that. I think that's all to it. Yeah, but that's most of your components that's going to run your heater box. The next thing you want to do with your heater box, let me show y'all something right quick. Because I'm in the midst, I done already took all the screws off. Get you a little bag, put all your screws in it. I took the cover off. I left the screws with it right there. So you got, starting down here, you got a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Take those out, that's the back wall. All the way around here, the perimeter, you have 8mm bolts or screws. All the way around, just follow them all the way around, take those off. On the top here, you had this tray here. You got six screws on this tray here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the middle you got this the sprayer that sits in this gap right here on this piece right here. So this piece sits right here in the middle with that. It's another screw there. So that's 6 screws. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there you got 6. And there's one more bigger screw that's a 10 that sits right there where it's screwed in at. And that sits in the middle right here on your tray. See that? That's one end. That's the other end. And this sits right here. So remove all of that stuff. Disconnect all your lines, which I'm getting ready to disconnect my heater core lines. You actually don't need to. This will rise right up over it. If you're not ready to take those off just yet. Like I said, my heater core is not bad. because I'm changing the whole AC system, I'm changing the evaporator. I seen where some of the guys, G-Body Parts, all of them, they've used ones in here to get their AC still running. I don't really trust it. I know my AC has stopped working in this car, and that could have been because of the compressor. Could have been, but this one's brand new, so we shouldn't have that issue. So I don't know how to test this evaporator core without taking it over here to the AC place, which I might do that, get them to pressure test this to see if this is any good. If it is any good, shoot, I might not need to. Get them to flush it and rehook it right back in. Hey, my up front, what you call it, condenser up front, that one, you know, is pretty much, it's a new one, so that one don't have anything in it. That's good, so I'm already straight on that. So everything I'm working now is back towards this heater core. So as you working it, and I've been slowly breaking this seal loose on here, take a little screwdriver and bust the seals. Don't go crazy because this thing will break. If you don't got in that backup cover, I'm telling you, take your time to take it off. If you just don't want to break it, take your time to take it off. That's what I'm doing now. I'm lucky that I do have a backup cover for this one, but don't do nothing crazy to break it and you'll be all right. Mine is in pretty good shape. It's still pretty sturdy. I ain't got nothing broken on this one. Like I said, when I had this car running, I took pretty good care of this car. So it wasn't a whole lot of craziness I had to do to this car to really get it back going. I mean, I had some foolish people dealing with my car that I should not have, and they made it worse. And then I had to come behind it and fix it. Yeah, that happened, but for the most part, you know, I had everything with this car squared away. So that's my task in here today. Once I take this off, when I first had this motor out, I actually flushed the inside of my heater box. If you can see in there, it's pretty clean in there, y'all. But I'm gonna clean it out. I'm gonna actually get some cleaners, and I'm gonna go down into these areas and really clean it out once I take the lid off. The door that's down there, that's cleared already. I flushed that out when I had the motor out. I pretty much flushed this whole box out. So most of the dirt and stuff that's in there is already out. I mean, it's a little bit still in there now for me taking stuff out. But I'm really going to go inside of it and really clean it up good. That's what I'm going to be doing once I get this box off. So, yeah, just take your time when you do it. And it's going to be a few days before I actually put this lid back on once I take it off. So hopefully that helped you guys out. I'm going to be using, let me show y'all this one I'm going to be using to seal it back up, which I knew was going to come in handy, which is why I was glad I bought it. It's sealed up with Butyl. I went and bought another thing I bought from Napa. Let me get over here and show y'all this right quick. It's another thing I bought from Napa. And I bought the wide one. I think y'all remember when I was putting my quarter windows in. I bought the Butyl. So here's a part number for the Butyl. And I got this from Napa. Alright. Let me show y'all that. Comes in 2 boxes. In the summertime, I had to keep this stuff in the freezer so that it would stay, you know, wouldn't get all melty and stuff like that. So that worked out good. In the wintertime, it's just sitting out. But this is the Butyl, y'all. That's the Butyl. And it ain't nothing but some rubber sealing, sticky sealing. Once you and this is the wide one. You can cut this to however you want it. It's about yay thick. about yay thick. You can double it up when you put it on, or you can put it on flat how you want to. Just cut it to trim to fit on here. That stuff stays sticky, and once you seal it down, it's sealed. All right, so you know you can use that for this and seal this box all up. Now this box has never been into, so what you see on there now is the sealant that the factory put on here. So I gotta break that stuff loose. That stuff heavy. So I got my work cut out for me. So I'm gonna get off of here, get some stuff together. Once I get that squared away, the next video that's gonna be coming, I'm gonna be showing y'all that T-top trim ridge in the center. I'm gonna be showing y'all how to actually put that on. It's real simple, but I'm gonna show y'all how to put that piece on there, how to adjust it to fit the new seals and the new center ridge and all that stuff. I'm gonna show y'all how to do that. It's real simple, so it's not gonna be a long video. So that's coming, but I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get to work. Again, I'm hoping everybody's having a blessed New Year so far. Get out, hustle, grind, do what you gotta do, make it happen. Shoot, you ain't got but one life to live, man. Thank God for that every single day, and get out and make something happen, y'all. Again, this CJ the Detail Guy. Oh, and before I leave, this joker here, man, I got to get this thing on the move. So I done started pulling this bad boy apart. Can't really see in there now. I got all the fluids and stuff drained out of it. So now I move step by step when I do something. So I drained all the fuel. I let the fuel stay, the fluids drain. I let that happen for a couple days. So I got all the oil out. I got all the radiator fluid out. I got everything out. So now what I'm getting ready to do is go and undo all the wires on this bad boy. Again, undo all of the harnesses and everything. Get all that stuff pulled to the side off the motor. After that, I'm gonna start taking the transmission loose, lock that down. Then the next move will be start unhooking a lot of the brackets, like AC brackets and stuff like that, that would hold it to the inside of the motor. Undo the motor mounts, and shoot, I'm pulling that boy out so I can get that up to the machine shop. This truck is gonna be on the road this year. Running, painted, wheels, interior cleaned up, everything, sounds in it, everything running, set up the way I want it set. This year, this car gonna be on the road. This car gonna be on the road this year. All right, hopefully all of this, the three, you see this? The Cuddy, the truck. Hopefully all three of these is on the road before the summer. That's the goal. If I can make that happen and the shop work with me that I'm dealing with this one, it's gonna be jumping. So by the winter time or the fall time, I had these pretty much situated, and I'll start working on my Monte Carlo. I told you I had a Monte Carlo coming. That's here. So once I get that and I get everything going, I'm gonna have y'all working. In the meantime, you know, I got detailed stuff going on. My daughter basketball season is in full swing, and she going crazy right now. I got all that stuff. I got work. I got everything going on. So all this stuff is going to be coming meanwhile, in between time, you know, as I go through my daily routines. All right. So y'all just bear with me, stick with me. Once I get them all done, I got more stuff coming. All right. This ain't going to stop. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff I got going on that I'm going to try to, you know, just keep stuff busy. And who knows where this channel might go. Y'all just keep giving me them thumbs up and them likes. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit better. I ain't really into all that crazy editing. So I ain't going to probably do too much exciting editing and all that. My videos probably just going to be just like this. But it's going to be showing you what's really going on. So y'all stick in with me. You know what it is. If I got some more, I'll hit you back. I'm gone.